Spokane.
So let's start standing. We do have a block handy. We have a set of weights or one weight handy for later. But we're going to start standing, working into the feet. So I'm going to do some footwork today because your feet are your foundation, and that can calm the body down from pain in the knees and the hips when we realign the feet. So start by having your feet about hip width apart, and imagine your feet are like little cars and they have 4 tires, and you want all 4 tires pressing down evenly. So think about your big toe mound, your little toe mound, the outside edge of the heel and the inside edge of the heel on both feet. Even pressure down into the floor. So remember how you don't want to ride too much on one tire on your car. You want all 4 tires down. So just think about that for a second. And notice that. Notice if you're putting more pressure inward or outward. Can you adjust that? Can you soften your knees in response to that and kind of root down into the floor? And from there, just take a deep breath. Let your belly come forward with your breath. And exhale. And notice, you can even soften your eyes or your gaze here, kind of slowly relaxing the eyes, even if you just kind of look down so you don't fall over or lose your balance. But notice as you breathe, if you can sink down into the floor a little bit more. Become more aware of your feet. Breathing in, breathing out. Now soften the ankles, let them be a little looser, maybe sway side to side. Feel how you're shifting your weight in your ankles, but keeping all 4 tires on your cars of your feet down into the floor. Just move from the ankles. Okay. Deep breath in. Now soften the knees, little micro bend in the knees. Soften your thighs, but keep them supported. And I want you to bring your hands up into the little hip crease here, the front of the thighs. Now, if you're jutting your hips forward, it's going to feel rock hard. We don't want that. I want you to push your tailbone back and make it be spongy. It should feel spongy right there. Yeah, then once it's spongy, I want you to take the tailbone and hook it under without losing that sponginess. Okay, so other than not jutting the hips forward, but keeping the thigh bones back and tucking the tailbone under. Still putting pressure on all 4 corners of your feet. Now we build up from there. Let's elongate the side waist, and you can even do this by taking your thumbs under your little sweaty armpits after that class we just did. And lift up, lengthen your side waist. And now palms forward, roll the shoulders back. So it's as if you're a little toddler and somebody's picking you up, lengthening your side waist, but then slide your shoulders down and back. Okay, keep that hook of the tailbone so we don't have too much arch in the back. Reach down, make sure you're still kind of spongy there. And then shoulders stay back, palms are forward. Think about that chin fitting right over that diamond in your neck. Okay, so the head kind of goes back into an imaginary headrest. Breathing here, noticing your feet sinking down a bit more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. So it's almost a working action to stand here, and yet it actually feels kind of soothing too. Exhale down. One more. Exhale. So bring your hands down by your side now and just up to your waist. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot and just kind of pick up your toes pick up your heel on the right and then set it down. Left heel, right heel. Now every time you go to one foot, push all 4 corners of those little tires down into the floor. Okay? We're just kind of stretching the feet out here. Now the next time we go with the right heel lifted, I want you to roll forward onto the tops of your toes and stretch the front of the toes there, stretch the tops of the feet. Roll back to the back of the toes and sink the heel down, other side. Roll to the tops of the toes. Feel that stretch down the tops. Then roll to the ball of the foot, sink the heel down. Let's go through that again. Just kind of pressing the tops of the toes forward and then lowering the heel down. If you get a little cramp in there, that's okay. Just give it yourself a little shake out. But that is an indication that you need to do this more and more. Inhale. Push down. Stretch the tops of the foot. There. And down. And other side. Keep breathing. Good, now left heel down. We're gonna make a little circle here. Roll to the outer edge of the foot. Stay on the ball of the foot here while we just rotate. Rotate the blade of the foot, the outside blade of the foot out, and then rotate that instep in. Okay, now add to that by rolling onto the tops of the toes and then bringing it down. So you're doing like a full rotation with the foot. Get to that outer blade of the foot. Now push to the outer tires of your foot. Roll to that outer blade and push and feel that stretch down your ankle. If you're a runner, you're really going to feel it. Okay, so put a little pressure there. You're on the outside two tires. Now roll to the instep. Kind of sink your knee in. Evert your foot so that you're trying to set that arch of your foot down onto the floor. Good. And then all four tires down, even pressure. Let's go to the other side. So just staying on the ball of the foot, circle the feet around. And it may not feel like we're doing much, but your feet get so much torture through the day, and then they get so much lax being stuck in shoes. So we're strengthening the feet and we're stretching them, and it actually helps to alleviate knee and hip pain. Get full range of motion there. Remember to roll to that outer blade of the foot. Now add the tops of the toes in. It goes a little slower in your circle here. Round, heel down, evert, invert, around. That full range of motion in the foot. Now set your foot down, roll to the outer two tires, and put pressure there. As much pressure as you want. It can be a little pressure or a lot of pressure. Almost like you're pushing your left hip out and then pushing weight down to that tires on the left side. Now let's invert and push the arch of the foot down. Like you're trying to flatten the arch of your foot. Yeah. All four tires down on both feet. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale. Keep that good anatomical position. And we're just going to pick up the toes on both feet. So we still have all four tires down, but we're picking up the toes and we're fanning them open. Sometimes when you do this, you feel your fingers fan open. That's normal too. Now squeeze your toes together. See how easy or hard that is. Like I really have trouble squeezing my toes together without curling them. I just want you to bring them together without curling them. And now fan them. And then try to bring all your toes together. Yeah, fan. And if you have trouble like I do, it's why we should do it. Like we should be able to squeeze our toes together just like we squeeze our fingers together. Open. And squeeze. Good. And we'll revisit this when we're sitting. It's a little harder when you're standing, but just keep stretching. Try to stretch that little bitty toe open. And then bring it in. Nice. Let's start a gentle sway side to side. Still keeping pressure in both feet evenly, but we're shifting from the ankles. Okay, so now start a little circle. You're going to shift your weight in the ankles forward and around. So we're just loosening up the ankle joint here. So your hips can sway, that's fine, but we're trying to keep even pressure in the feet. And then go the other way. So think about the ankles here. Rotate from the ankles. Just putting your mind into your muscles here. Good. If you lose pressure in one area, that's okay. Just become aware of it and try to adhere to all the four tires of your feet down onto the floor. Good. Even pressure. Take your right arm up. Don't change the pressure, but take a side bend for your body here. Still pushing down through that right side. And notice if you get a deeper stretch by pushing down into the floor on that right side. Bring it down. Other side. Still pressure down through the left foot. Reach and then get that side bend open. Good. Don't lose pressure. Sometimes we tend to favor the foot that we're leaning towards, but I want pressure down both sides. Both arms come up, pressure down through the feet, ground down, but lift up out of your hips. Again, like you're a little toddler and somebody's picking you up out of your hips. And fold forward. Pressure stays the same as we sweep the arms down and all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. So we're just becoming mindful of our feet through different movements. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to come forward, step off your mat because you'll need your mat behind you for this next one. We're going to do a little deeper top of the foot stretch. So put your toe behind you. Gentle pressure there on all 5 toes on that side. So it's all the way down to the pinky toe. Again, if you get a cramp, take a break for a second, but bend that back knee. Do a little lunge here to get into the top of the foot. And then come up and out of it. Exhale down. Inhale up. And you're doing almost like a little plie on the front, and so you should feel also another little stretch down the back of the front heel. Down. And every time you lunge down, you might be able to get more of the top of your foot down onto the floor. One more. Okay, shake that out a little bit. That's an area that should be more flexible than it is, so it's important to do that. Again, like I've said in previous classes, it helps with like not slapping your feet when you walk. You can keep the top of the feet supple. So even here, you're going to feel a stretch. Aim for all 5 toes pushing down evenly. Good. And then to increase the stretch, try that little lunge towards the top of the foot, that bone of the foot. We're trying to get it towards the floor. Good. Nice. Way down. Up. You might feel that stretch down the back of the right heel. Down. See if you can go a little deeper, because as we open the top of the foot, it starts to be able to help us go a little deeper. One more. Good. And shake that out. Back to our nice all 4 tires position. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, the hands come behind you. Interlace the hands and fold forward. Soft bend in the knees. Roll up slow. And just for a little bit, we're going to move over to the bar. So find a place on the bar. Do some stretches there. Now, go ahead and take your weight with you. You're going to need one little weight. We're going to get into a nice deep squat. The bar is there to help us do just that. So facing the bar, you leave your weight off to the side to start with. So facing the bar. You're going to open your feet a little wider than your hips. And use the bar as you go down into a really deep squat. Now, if you need to go lower to the lower rungs on the bar, you can, but I want you to get it down as deep into your squat as you can, hanging from the bar, basically. So hang your hips back, and then let's just sway side to side. Get into one foot, and then into the other foot. So really work on pushing your knees open, hanging from the bar, so we're getting a deep hip rotation here. The inner thighs are stretching, hips are stretching. Maybe as you sway to each side, you're going to push one knee open, kind of rolling to the outer blade of one foot. Good. And hang from that bar as much as you need to, because that's what's really going to help you get deep into the hips here. The next time you kind of lunge or squat into the right leg, kind of roll to the outer blade of the left leg and see if you can push that knee open or just allow it to fall open. You want to get to that outer blade of the foot and feel that kind of stretch down the outer blade. I want you to look for a stretch down the side of the ankle. Good. then go back to the other side. Rolling it out. You're kind of getting to that outer ankle there. And same thing going to the other side, switching sides. If it feels painful, that's part of the process here. Your hips are huge storage depots for stress and tension. So part of that is working out the cobwebs in those hips and thighs right now. There's all that tension and stress. We're kind of opening that up. Good. So really sit back into your heels, hang back, hold it there, push those knees open. And then slowly, carefully bring your hips up. Good. So that's something you can do if you have like a bar or a countertop to hang from at home. It's really beneficial to do that. Okay, we're going to take the right foot back. And we're just using the bar here for balance while we push that right heel down for a calf stretch. So we've done this before. This is just your standard little calf stretch. But I want you to change some angles here to feel it a little differently. So only step your foot back about 2 feet apart from your front foot. And then go ahead and work on tucking your tailbone under here. So really engage and tuck under rather than letting the bum come out behind you. And madly push down through the back 2 tires of your right car there. Push down and really tighten and squeeze that right leg. So you're kind of tucking the tail under, tightening the front of the thighs if somebody's kind of squeezing your right thigh there, pulling it back. Breathe in, lift your chest, shoulders back. So then bring that forward. Now this is where we're just going to slide our weight underneath our right heel, or underneath our right ball of the foot, I should say. When you're standing tall, but I want you to take a step forward with your left leg, and then get that nice stretch as your heel drops off the weight in the back. So you're kind of step forward just slightly in front of that weight that's on the floor. Now to get into this a little deeper, tuck your tailbone under. A slight tuck of the tail and really pushing mad down through that right heel. And I really feel that stretch down the calf. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tuck under, tuck under, tuck under. You're going to feel that stretch even more. Stay tall. Breathe in, breathe out. Alright, now move that out of the way for just a sec. We're going to step back with the left heel now, opposite heel now, pushing down. Remember, you're about 2 feet apart in front of that right leg. And engage that all four corners of your feet down, all 4 tires on your left car there, pushing down. Then tuck the tail under, tighten up through that left thigh. Feel that stretch all the way down into your Achilles, which is the back of the heel, that tendon that goes down the back of the heel. Breathe in, lift your chest, shoulders down your back, stay tall. Keep pushing down. Go ahead and step forward. You can move that weight underneath your left ball of the foot. Your heel will be hanging off of it. Step slightly forward with your right foot and feel that stretch already down your left calf. Square your hips, because sometimes you'll notice you kind of dump into your left hip and that loses the stretch. So if you'll square your hips and then tuck that toe or tuck the tailbone under, you get a little deeper stretch there. Breathe in, breathe out, tuck that tail under a little bit more. Square the hips to the wall in front of you. Breathe in, breathe out. Really push down like mad through your left heel. Lengthen, lengthen. One more time. And then you can step off of it. Just notice the difference in your ankles and your feet. Okay? So that's all we're going to do with the bar. We're going to come back to our mat now. And have a seat on your block. So I gave you a block. If you don't have a block, a towel or a rolled up mat always works too. So just in the middle of your mat, have a seat on your block. Because we are going to give ourselves a little foot massage. So the block, when you're sitting on it, helps to elevate your hips so you can keep a nice tall spine. You can cross your legs comfortably. Oops. Turn that. Okay. So nice and tall. Go ahead and grab whatever foot you want to start with and just slide it up to where you can mess with it a little bit, okay? So wherever you want to put it, that you can start to just push your thumbs, both thumbs, right into the center of your feet and work your way down. Imagine your foot is like a spine in the center and just work your way down your spine, pushing with 2 fingers. Now the way to really enjoy this is to forget about what your arms are doing and put your mind into what your feet are feeling, okay? So instead of focusing on what your hands are doing, you might even close your eyes and notice what your feet are feeling, okay? And then just kind of take your thumbs and push in various spots all along the sole of your foot there. Just anywhere that you want to push. Just work your thumbs around. And again, mind into the foot. Notice what the foot is feeling, because it kind of feels really good when you forget about what your arms are doing. Now going up into the toes, I want you to pull your toes back towards your body. And maybe each toe individually you're going to pull back. Wiggling them around a little bit. You might even slide all 4 of your fingers in between your toes there, hugging it with your thumb. Just give it a little squeeze. Again, focus on what your foot is feeling. Now, whether you've got your fingers inside your feet or not, squeeze. Make little squeezes all the way down your feet. Just grab your hands around your foot, give it a little squeeze. Not only does this feel good, but it actually moves the lymph, any like stagnant, toxic lymph out of your body whenever you squeeze and release. Kind of go up the foot towards the ankle. We do little squeezes that moves the lymph up towards the heart. Now little creepy crawlies now. You're going to tap your feet with your fingers. So it's just like you're playing piano. Little tappies up and down. If you're ticklish, it might not feel as good. But if you're not ticklish, it kind of awakens all the nerve endings in your feet. Take that leg and stretch it out. And again, we're going to revisit what we did earlier with the foot, where we spread the toes and then try to squeeze them together. Oh, that's so hard for me. Without curling your toes, try to squeeze your toes together. Flex them open and squeeze together. Flex them open and squeeze together. One more time, flex them open. Squeeze together. Then we'll bring that foot in and we'll go to the other side. So we're going to take that left foot anywhere you can hold it and start to do a little pressure with the thumbs, starting at the top of the foot and just as if there was a spine running down the middle of your foot, go all the way up and down. Keep going like that, just making that pressure in the foot. Remember to think about what your foot is feeling rather than what your arms are doing. Okay, so maybe closing your eyes and going into what the foot is feeling. And take your thumbs and just make various pressure points all through the foot. Anywhere you want to make pressure on the feet, press your thumbs into there. Like when your cat kneads you and makes biscuits, right? The little biscuit makers. The little kitty cats press on you. I love that. So we're kind of kneading the foot here. Now you can go up into your toes and start to manually spread them apart. Maybe even rotate the toes a little bit. Spreading them apart. As I said before, you can slide your fingers in between, get a little toe jam on your hands there. But kind of stretch them forward and back. It feels kind of good to give them a squeeze once your fingers are in there. And then also we'll start squeezing all the way down the foot. So just take your hand and squeeze your foot any way you want to. Close your eyes. Feel what that feels like. Notice what it feels like to squeeze with your foot and with your thumbs. Maybe your hands are cool, maybe they're warm. So depending on the temperature of your hands, just notice what that feels like. Moving up into the ankle a little bit so we can push that lymph up towards the heart, just kind of squeezing into the ankle. We'll take that leg all the way out and try that little open and release. So we're going to fan those toes open as much as you can and then bring them together without too much of a curl. Fan the toes, stretch, and then bring them together. Fan, stretch. You might find, like I do, where I can see my weaknesses, like if I have one toe that's like not doing anything, that's I'm going to have to work on him because he's kind of lacking. Inhale, fan the toes, and then squeeze them together. And then we're going to take both legs out in front, just about hip width apart. Press down and point through the toes, and then flex through the feet. So just a little point and flex here. One more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale out over. And if you can, even if you need to bend your knees, if you want to grab your toes and wrap your hands around the balls of the feet, that's where we're going next, because we're just going to rock with that. If you rock a little bit forward, you get a stretch through your back body. And you also get a stretch through the toes. So bend your knees a little bit so that you can reach all the way down to your feet. And then press into the balls of the feet and release a little bit. Just come in and out of that. Breathe in, breathe out. Release all the way up. We'll shift onto the knees here, and we're going to tuck the toes under all 10 toes. So make sure if you have, like I do, a little baby toe that doesn't want to do anything, you might have to manually tuck him under. Now, if you need a little support, you can actually sit on the block here too if you don't like too much pressure on your feet. Otherwise, you can just sit back on your heels. So it's up to you if you need a little help with that block underneath your sits bones. It feels really nice to just sit there and let the feet stretch open. And while they're stretching open, let's just take the arms up and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now, as if we hadn't stretched the tops of our feet enough, we're going to uncurl our toes, set the tops of the feet down. Now, all you're going to do is try to pick up one knee. Where the top of that foot is down, you're going to get a nice stretch on the front of the ankle and the front of the foot. So just alternate side to side. Pick up one knee, and then the other knee. You can stabilize yourself with your hands on the floor, or you can manually pick up the knee if you need to. Whatever feels good to your body. You can stay on a block underneath your hips if you need to. Just work on feeling the tops of those feet stretching open. A lot of footwork in this class. Your feet are going to feel like $1,000,000 when you're done. One more on each side. Let's take it down to the mat. Our hips just come down. We're going to face the front now and get into the knees and the hips a little bit after we've opened up the feet. So take your hands behind you. Feet are hip width apart, knees are bent. Let's just start our little side saddle rotations here. Internal and external hip rotation. we freed up the hips, now we want to free up the knees, or we freed up the feet, now we want to free up the knees and the hips. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And the next time you take your knees to the right, let's see if we can stack that right foot over the left knee. Just get a little stretch there. You might even want to push your hip forward and back a little bit, just kind of sliding that hip forward and back. Just kind of massaging the hip capsule. And now release, take it to the other side. So you can set that left foot up on top of the right knee and then just kind of move your hip forward and back, sink it down, lift it forward, sink it down. Good, breathing with that. And we'll uncross, we'll take it back over to the right, kind of backing up on your mat a little bit so you're comfortable on your mat here. Our feet are just both going to the left. We're going to take a hold of that left ankle and bring your right arm up and down, right elbow to the floor, left arm up. So we're going through just some side waist bends here, getting into the knees and the hips as well, because the way we're angled here helps to open up the knees and the hips in different range of motion. Right elbow down, left arm up. Left elbow down, or left hand down, right arm up. One more. Now walk those hands back behind you. Sink that hip down. See if you can push that left hip down towards the floor. Now press the hips up. Sink the hip down. Press the hips up. Sink down. Press the hip up one more time. Good. We're going to get a little deeper quad stretch here. So if you're comfortable keeping this leg bent and extending your right leg, do that. But if it's not comfortable, then go ahead and change to a position more of like your foot coming to your inner thigh. Okay, so if we're comfortable here, we're going to take our arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold over that right leg. Arms come back up. Hands come behind you to the floor, and we lean back slightly. So we're going to go in and out of those movements. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale, leaning back. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale, leaning back. Let's stay back now. Just kind of pulsing up with the chest. Lift your heart. Exhale, sinking back, tucking your tail under. Inhale, press up. Exhale, sinking back. One more inhale. Exhale. All the way up. So lean to the right, and you can release that left leg. Give it a little shake. Now before we move to the other side, we're going to take this leg as a little cradle, like you're holding a little baby here. And just rock side to side. So we did a lot, here's some shushing back there. We did a lot of internal rotation, so now we're externally rotating the hip and stretching it that way too. So the higher you lift the leg and you get it up inside that right elbow, if that's doable for you, the more you're going to feel that hip. So you have to go wherever it's comfortable. It may be way down here, and that's okay. But work within that range of motion where you feel that hip going, oh yeah, that's where I need to be. Gently rocking the baby. Good. And then we'll release down. Okay, so let's bring the feet back up. Soft bend in the knees, and we'll drop them to the left and bring that right foot over. Nice and tall, right hand On the right ankle, we take that left arm up and over. And then exhale, slide out to the left elbow, right arm up and over. Right hand, left arm. Breathing as you go, don't forget your breath. So feeling, as you move through this, notice the little variances in the hip of what's happening in your hip and your knee as you're tipping to one side. Inhale. Exhale. Good, one more time. And both arms come up and behind you. We'll take our hands back. Lean into those hands and puff your chest up. Inhale. Exhale. Sink that thigh bone back and then press your chest up. Kind of tuck your tail, sink that thigh bone back. Press your chest up. One more. Good. All the way up. If we can stay with this foot cocked open to the right, that's good. Lean to the left and kind of slide that leg out. No worries if it doesn't feel good, you can bend the knee the other way. So inhale, we're going to sit tall, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come behind you and lean back. Good. Find that stretch in the thigh. Inhale up. Exhale, reach over. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come behind, lean in. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands come behind. Now just stay here for a moment. Tuck your tail, press your chest up. And release. Find that stretch in the thigh. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. All the way up. Lean to the left so you can unfurl that leg. And we'll go into our little external rotation rocking here. So grab the leg anywhere you can. Sit tall and rock side to side. So just countering all that inversion with a little eversion here. Inhale, one more big breath in. Exhale. And release. Both legs out in front. Soft bend in your knees if needed. Slide down your legs. And fold forward and rest here. Just breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Feel your back body rise. Breathe out. Let that head hang forward. Back of the neck relaxing. Breathe in. Breathe out. And slowly rolling up, we'll turn to the side and roll down to our backs. Rock your knees into your chest. Hold them in there as you rock side to side. Open your arms to a T. Drop your knees all the way to the right, wherever you can drop them. Let them hang out over there. Stretching down into the hips and into the low back. You might even take your gaze to the left. Kind of getting a little gentle stretch in the neck there. Inhale. Exhale. As your head comes back to the center, your knees come back to the center, and then we're going to drop to the other side. Arms open, you can take your gaze all the way to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel that twisting coming from the shoulders, anchoring down, twisting all the way over with the knees going towards the left. center, pull your legs back up, and then left leg out, right leg in. Little hip circles here, and little ankle circles as you do it. And bring that knee with the left hand across your body, right arm open. We're going to go back and forth here. Bring it back to center. Take it into your right hand. Open it out to the side. Left arm open. So nice and slow, like we're moving underwater. We take the left hand on the knee, pull it across, right arm open. And then we take the right hand on the knee, left arm open. Pull the knee over to the right. Again, changing sides. Inhale. Exhale to the right. One more. Inhale. Good. As you come back to center, just hold the back of that leg, lengthen up, fan those toes open again, and then bend and release. Let's switch sides. Left knee comes in, right leg stretches out on the floor. Deep breath in. Let's circle the hip, circle the ankle. Let's take the right hand, pull the knee across. Left arm open like a wing out to the side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Knee comes back to center. Pull the knee apart, right arm open. And switch. Pull it across, open. Back to center. Switch hands, open to the left. Bring it to center. Cross over, open. Bring it to center. Open to the left. Bring the knee to center. Now lengthen it up. Long stretch. Fan your toes open. And then bring that leg all the way down to the floor to meet the other leg. Take your legs apart, about mat width apart. Let them fall out to the side. Stretch your arms up overhead. Take a big, long front of the body stretch. Reaching through your fingers. Now take the backs of your palms and rest them over your eyes like you're blocking out the light here. Just relaxing the eyes back down into their sockets. The only movement here is your belly rising and falling with your breath. Just relaxing the eyes back into their sockets. As you do this, allow your legs to relax. Allow your belly to soften. Now keeping the eyes soft or closed, bring your palms down next to your body facing up. Let your arms and your hands get very heavy against the floor. Take about 3 deep breaths here, slowing your exhale way down. Nice long exhale. Every exhale, your shoulders and your hips relax more, your feet soften and flop open. Your face relaxes, your jaw. And just return to a natural breath, no help from you, your body knows how to breathe. Enjoy the feeling you've created in your body of just soft, supple, calm, relaxed nourishment. Take your arms now, stretch them up overhead. Reach a little higher with the right arm, and then a little higher with the left arm. Both arms up. Point through your toes, stretch through your fingers. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Wake yourself up with a deep breath. Roll onto your right side and help yourself up. Good job. Let's see how good your feet feel the rest of the time.
Hey guys, are you in the Midwest? Are you in the East Coast? Are you in Brazil? Are you in Asia? It doesn't matter where you are. I would love to work with you as your nutritionist. And so just to let you know, I offer nutrition consulting worldwide. You can work with me anywhere. I have clients all over the world, and I love to spend time over the internet with each one of them, figuring out their specific needs. So your specific needs, what deficiencies are you having? What symptoms are you dealing with daily that we can address for you? So that's what I, as a nutrition detective, like to get to the bottom of. I ask you a ton of questions. We meet over Zoom or over FaceTime, whatever is convenient for you, and we discuss all of your specific needs. If you would like to work with me, just shoot me an email, getfitwithjodelle@gmail.com. That's getfit, getfitwithjodelle@gmail.com, and let's set up a 15-minute free call for you just to see if I'm a good fit for you as a nutrition therapy practitioner. Again, email me getfitwithjodelle@gmail.com, and let's get you set up feeling better, lose that unwanted weight that you have going on, lose those symptoms that you have hanging around, and optimize your health as best we can.